Okay, we're going to talk about essay and body paragraph organization. So essay organization is like a four-course dinner. In your first paragraph, you're going to have your introduction. In your subsequent paragraphs, you're going to have your body paragraph. Each body paragraph is going to focus on a singular point from your thesis statement. And then your last paragraph is going to be your conclusion. Body paragraphs are like courses in a meal. The main entree. At this point in a meal, you've given the diners menus that promise a certain dish, and possibly a free sample or photograph of what it's supposed to look like. At this point in an essay, you made a big claim or thesis statement and given a preview of the essay in the introduction paragraph. Now it's time to give the people what they ordered and keep your promise. So your first sentence is a topic sentence. Your topic sentence is one statement that clearly states what the topic will be about, and ideally how it connects to the thesis statement. Remember, with your tips from your thesis statement, your topic sentence should just say what it is instead of saying, in this paragraph I will talk about. Just go ahead and give us the topic sentence in one sentence that clearly describes that part. Your middle sentences are a combination of reasons, evidence, facts, and explanations or analysis that prove the topic sentence you listed in a super focused way. So you have your quote and then your source in its proper internal citation, and then you're going to discuss the quote, including an analysis and a reflection of how it relates to the thesis. Then your last sentence, you're going to summarize what you just wrote and start to bridge to the next topic. Ideally, you would also list a transition sentence after or with a concluding sentence, but we're going to talk about that in another lesson. Okay, so go on to YouTube, find this video, Writing a Cohesive Essay by Schmoop, and they're going to go into more details about how to write a cohesive essay, and then come back to this video. Okay, so check yourself and check your paragraphs. Do all of your sentences refer to the main idea? Are all of your sentences organized in a logical manner? Does your paragraph have a clear topic sentence? Is your topic sentence the first sentence of the paragraph? Does your topic sentence start with, in this paragraph, I will, or include a cliche? If it does, then take those out. Is every sentence in the paragraph discussed and explained adequately? Okay, so we're going to practice together. Consider the organization of the paragraph below. Reorganize the ideas so that the paragraph's organization is logical. So the paragraph says, hotels and transportations on trips can be expensive if you don't book them plenty of time in advance. When you go on a trip, you need to think about how much money to allot for things like transportation, food, and hotels. It is important to plan your trips carefully. Planning your trip carefully will allow you to have a more relaxed trip. Another thing to plan for is how much time you want to spend sightseeing and doing different sorts of activities. Even though you may not want to do everything, you have to remember that there are only so many hours in the day. So the paragraph is a little unorganized, and it makes it very hard for your readers to follow what is your main point and what are you talking about in that paragraph. So it should be reworded like this. It is important to plan your trips carefully. When you take a trip, you need to think about how much money to allot for things like transportation, food, and hotels. Hotels and transportation on trips can be expensive if you don't book them with plenty of time in advance. Another thing to plan for is how much time you want to spend sightseeing and doing different sorts of activities. Even though you may want to do everything, you have to remember that there are only so many hours in the day. Planning your trip carefully will allow you to have a more relaxed trip. So that is a much more focused essay. It's very clear that the entire paragraph is going to be talking about planning trips. Then we get two things you need to plan for. One is money and one is time. And then our last sentence clearly wraps up our paragraph for us. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the 6+1 writing traits and how you're going to be evaluated in this section. So the first is the organization enhances and showcases the central idea or theme. The order, structure, or presentation of information is compelling and moves the reader through the text. So your paper should have an inviting introduction that draws the reader in, a satisfying conclusion that leaves the reader with a sense of closure and resolution. And we're going to talk about introductions and conclusions later on. B is thoughtful transitions clearly show how ideas are connected. So we're going to be talking about transitions in a later video as well. C, details seem to fit where they're placed. Sequencing is logical and effective. So this is making sure that your first paragraph is your introduction, your next one's on your body paragraphs, and your last one is your conclusion, and that your paragraphs are set up well as well. So your first sentence in your paragraph is your topic sentence. Your next few sentences give explanations and examples and elaborate on your point. And then your last sentence will conclude your entire paragraph and it will summarize what you talked about in that paragraph. D, pacing is well controlled. The writer knows when to slow down and elaborate and when to pick up the pace and move on. E, the title, if desired, is original and captures the central theme of the piece. And F, the structure of paragraph matches the purpose and audience with effective paragraph breaks. Okay, so now you're going to write the body paragraphs for your actual essay and have your partner check your paragraphs and give you any feedback on it. Remember to go back and do that check yourself slide and make sure you have all of those items that you're supposed to have on there.